Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. As you have seen from the thumbnail and the title, today's C-drama is Never-Ending Summer. The thing is, how I discovered this C-drama and decided to watch it was I kept seeing the edits of their second act. There are two acts. In Act 1, we see their younger, passionate, intense days of high school in 2016. And in Act 2, we see them in their adult years 10 years later in current time 2026. So what I kept getting was the edits of the Act 2. So I was like so excited to watch it, but turns out the Act 1 is a lot more longer than you might guess. Like, we are halfway in, we are still seeing their high school days because there's a lot happening. Like, the reason for that is a lot has happened in their high school years, and they're gonna 10 years later reunite. I don't know. Reunite 10 years later in 2026, and we will see what happens from then on. But the thing is, in today's video, I will not talk about Act 2 because the Act 1 is where the plot, the everything that we are gonna see, the consequences of happens. That's the place where it happens, the Act 1. So we are today gonna talk about this Act 1. Not fully, I will just mention a few little things. Their characters, how their characters are made, and then we will see what's gonna happen to them. And I have seen the reviews, I have seen a lot of reviews, and this might be a C-drama of the year. Yes, for me, I think this is the best in the modern C-drama world that is released this year in 2026. Sorry, I think this is my best. The vibes that I was getting, the cinematography that I liked so much. Hidden Love was my favorite. And then, by the same writer, I watched another C-drama, you know the name. I liked that one too. But this one, really, the cinematography and the vibes were similar. That's why I liked it. This is from another writer, by the way. This is not from the same writer, but the vibe that I kept getting, like the past reminiscing, like the past mistakes that are made, and then we see them in adult years, it reminds me of that writer's style. Some people said in that review, in the first episode, they were saying Speed and Love was so similar to this. Well, I haven't watched Speed and Love, and the plot is, I don't know, it is not my type, honestly. In Speed and Love, I have researched a bit. They were step siblings and then they fell in love with each other, and there's a lot of racing scenes in between those plots. In this one, they're not step siblings before they fall in love. In this one, they fall in love in school, they like each other. They're not telling each other that they like each other, of course, because for the longest time they are gonna be in a situationship where they don't know what they're doing to each other feelings wise. And before becoming step siblings, and not really, that didn't really happen, by the way, they didn't become step siblings, but we thought they were gonna be step siblings in the future. That did not happen. That's why I think it's different. And let's start with characters, female characters and the male characters. And the Act 1, the scorching summer of youth. I will first introduce our female lead, of course. Her name is Jo-won, and she is played by Bao Chang-en, aka Bao Bao. She is a fiercely brilliant, a top scorer at her high school. Like, she is the top student in our high school, introverted, really polite, lives with her grandmother, would do anything for her grandmother. A lot of the plot, by the way, is gonna happen because of her grandmother. Because her grandmother is so sick and she has to save her because they're not making enough money because Joanne is in high school. How can she make money? Like, you can go and work, but she's a top scoring student. And she has to study a lot, and she is giving private lessons as well, but it is not enough. Like, her grandmother is really ill. So a lot of the plot that we're gonna see, a lot of the painful scenes that are gonna happen is because that she wants to save her grandmother. And our main lead name is Lu Shixiao, and it is played by Zhou Keiyu, Daniel Zhou. You might know him if you watched The Truth, the variety show, Chinese variety show. His English is excellent, by the way, and his accent in the drama is excellent as well. You might have seen the viral scene where he's talking in English to his homeroom teacher. He's saying, "Yeah, I memorized all the answers, but you wouldn't understand, would you?" He's saying this, and the homeroom teacher really understands nothing. He just says like, "Great, amazing." That is one of the viral scenes. He is rebellious. He is fiercely protective outcast who clashes heavily with his family over his dream of studying art. So his mom was an artist. She really is a well-known artist, and his dad was like an old school, not old school, like his family have been rich for the longest time. They have a company, so they want him to study finance. But of course he is influenced by his mother, and he has talent. Of course, without having talent you cannot like have a dream of being an artist. So that explains everything. The first scene that we see of them is the first day of school, are in China, I think, in 2016. What's happening in this drama is like this. I don't know, I don't want to make it a general thing, but in this school, they are making a speech in the first day of school by the top ranking students. So they can motivate the other students to study harder more, because it is their last year. They have to do everything to be the best at the Gaokao exam, which is known for its hardness. Like, it is hard to go to a university, and the exam is really hard. So the top ranking students, which is our second male lead and our female lead, is giving a speech, but it is so hot because they are giving a speech in the garden of the school. It is so hot. They're like doing a speech, but the students are really bored and hot, and it is really humid. They're really bored out of their mind, and our male lead runs up with two securities following up behind him, and he's running, and meanwhile he's running, he's hitting the fountains, like the water sources that water the greenery outside. He's hitting them so they splash out. So after he's done this, the teachers are like, "You're gonna get a punishment for this, you're not gonna be left alone." And after he does this, he goes on the stage and he's like, "I did so well," because everybody was thinking that it is so hot out. And at the same time, our female lead was doing a speech, and she is looking at him, and our male lead is looking at him. And the first time our male lead sees the female lead, and I think he fell in love, I think. But at first you don't fall in love. It's just like, she looks good, I like her, maybe. But after spending time with her, I think it's gonna be more passionate about his like love. So our female lead we cannot read her mind. So it looks like she is trying to approach him, but we don't know the reason why. We're gonna realize it after I explain everything to you, the plot. But she is constantly trying to approach our male lead, and our male lead is like, why are you approaching me? What is your motive? But his mindset is like, I know you're trying to approach me with a motive, but I don't really care because I like you. And in the first scene of the drama, by the way, before we see the scene, the speech scene, we see them in 2026 from the Act 2, where they visit their high school, but they're there at the same time, but they don't see each other. Our female lead comes and sits, and our male lead is at the same time in another classroom, and we see him saying like, this is not the exact thing that he said, but he's saying like, you can wrong me 100 times, but if you say you love me once, I will forgive you because I love you. So we see them going at it like this, and then we go back to 2016 and we see them where their story begins. Of course, our female lead is so smart. She is trying to act older because she needs to give private lessons because her grandmother is really sick. She has medication that she has to take. She has to regularly visit the hospital, and then at the later stages she is gonna be hospitalized as well. So, but why is our female lead, who's an introvert, approaching our male lead that proactively? The thing is, Joanne's, our female lead's father, passed away when she was really young, like she was 7 or 8. I don't remember the exact age, but she was really young when that happened. And after her father passed away, her mother abandoned her for another man. And that man didn't know she had a family before and she had a child before. And she ran away with that man. And realizing this, our female lead as a child cried her eyes out to beg her mother to not leave. Mother, please do not leave. Why are you smiling like this? Whenever you smile like this, I recognize you're lying. I know you do this. And the grandmother inside comes out. This is a lot earlier. Even before 2016, she was a lot younger, like a child. The grandmother comes out and says like, you're gonna abandon your own child, your daughter? And the mother says like, well, I have to survive, you know? If we three are all together, there's no way we're gonna survive, so I have to do this. The thing is, there is some villains in the story, but when you think about it, there's no, like, there are intentions behind their actions, at first at least. So we are seeing the mother doing this, abandoning her daughter, her family, the grandmother, because she has to survive, because she has to marry rich and save herself, and then her daughter, maybe in the future she might able to come back and get her. So she has a reason to do this, because realistically they're not gonna make it out. She is thinking like this. But there are some villainous things that we are gonna see, and there's no real intention behind them. Like, why are you doing this? And the mother of female lead, we are gonna see her having these kinds of actions, and we're like, why would you do this? Why? Like, there is no reason for you to do this. But at first, everyone that you see as villainous has a reason for their actions. Our female lead is approaching our male lead because, you know, her mother that ran away when she was a child, she was unable to reach her, but But our main lead stepmother is her mother, which she is unable to reach. And after seeing them together, she asks like the male lead to be like, is that your mother? Because she's worried, because she has some feelings for this boy, and she's like, are we siblings? But our male lead is like, of course not, she wouldn't qualify as a mother, I think. So after she hears that his stepmother is her mother, she's like, okay, I need to make money. How can I make money? I have to extort out the money. I have to find out my mother's secrets, and then like say like, you don't want me to go and tell your husband? Not husband, by the way. They have been boyfriend and girlfriend for 10 years. That man hasn't even married her, by the way. And she is taking care of everything in the house. She is responsible for everything. Yeah. They didn't even marry each other. They're boyfriend and girlfriend living with each other in 2016. It has been like 10 years that they have been together. They are planning to get married. So it's a bit weird. After hearing this, she's smart, right? She's intelligent. She's like, I have to get closer to our male lead and then approach my mother and then find out if I am a secret of hers, because she has a daughter. I don't know if the other man that she's dating right now knows, and if he doesn't know, I'm gonna like, if you don't want me to tell your boyfriend, give me money, then I will leave you alone. Get out of your life forever. But I am in need of money. The extent she goes this far is she had a private lesson lined up, but the parents of the child that she was gonna give a private lesson to found out that she was just a high schooler. So they were like, I know you're doing this because you're in need, but the first thing that we care about, because you're gonna be with our children giving them private lessons, we need you to be honest, and you lied to us. So we are not gonna be able to work with you. And after this, she's like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? What is the easiest way to make money? So she comes up with this solution. So she approaches our male lead to get closer to him, and she realizes that his studies are bad, and he is studying to go to abroad to like go to a university outside of China. So he's gonna take another exam in English, but his English speaking alone that we have seen in the viral scene, it is good. So I think he's acting like he can't do English, or maybe, you know, that exams have styles, so even if you speak it, you might not be able to get the perfect result that you want from the writing exam or the multiple choice exam. So he is studying for that one. His speaking has no like issues, my personal opinion. So of course our female lead used to sell her notes in a mysterious like, she has a name, Mr. Bo. So she's hiding her identity because it's not really that legal to sell your notes, and whatever she writes, it comes up in the exam, and her notes are so easy to read, they are so popular, and because it shouldn't be noticeable that everyone has these kind of notes, everyone has one chance to get one subject's note. So she's really smart. So how they do it is, she made a pact with a market, and when the student tell the code, he just brings it up and gives it to them. She makes money out of that way. But after learning that she had a private lesson that she could take and she was gonna gain money, she deleted the subscription, and she saw that the rebellious male lead was in need of these notes, she was like, no, I think I'm done with these kind of notes. So after our male lead requested it, she sent a message of like, I will not sell them to Lu Shishao, the male lead. So he was like ticked. But you know what he did? He really is smart as well. Our male lead and female lead, they're both smart. After seeing this kind of message, the only thing that he could see from this profile was the nickname, Mr. Bo, and the profile picture. The profile picture had like a night scenery background and then a tree silhouette on top of it. And that tree is white because it has some kind of disease that it is not able to produce the greenness. So it is like white. And in the picture, you can see it. And our male lead, after looking at the profile picture, he's like, I know this tree. And his friend is like, how do you know a tree? There's a lot of trees and they look kind of similar to each other, all of them. And he's like, no, this one has a disease and I have seen it before. We have to go to school. And after they go to school, he finds it and finds the exact angle of the picture. And he's like, if they were to recognize this tree and recognize it was beautiful and take a picture of it to like put it on their profile picture, they have to be around here. So he goes to look around, but his friend is so afraid of darkness, he lies that he has night blindness, so he can't see. So our male lead has to go alone. There's a pool that was abandoned of the school. There's another like a building next to it. It was abandoned and they stored the old desks and chairs in this emptied pool. There's a little space that is a lot deeper and there's water there, but after that it is empty. We see a tower of desks and chairs, and guess where our female lead is? In the middle of that tower. So she has built the desks and chairs to look like a tower, but there are secret entryways that you can go in, and in the middle there's an empty space and she works there. She studies there. She takes notes there. It is her office and she has made it her own place. So after going in, our male lead is quick to catch on and he's like, is there somebody in there? Because there's a light. And our female lead realizes that there is someone and she tries to hide, but our male lead comes up and says like, oh, you're the female lead, you're Joanne, you're the top ranking student. Are you really in that need of a money that you're selling your notes? And our female lead is like, it's none of your business. Because back then, she didn't know his stepmother was his mother. So she was like a lot more, she kept the distance between them. But our male lead was like in her face, trying to read her expressions because, you know, we cannot read her mind. And he's like teasing her a little bit, going up to her. And then we see those romantic scenes. If you have Pinterest or YouTube, there are edits of them. And he is like, why are you not selling me your notes? And she's like, I will not sell it to you. You are so dangerous. If I give it to you, everybody's gonna know because you're the popular boy of the school. So I will not risk my business to give my notes to you. And I have like closed my business already. So what's the point of this? He's like, I need to rank the first 1,000 in the city to get my motorcycle back. Because of the stunt that he pulled off in the first day of school, he is facing a punishment and his homeroom teacher has the keys to his motorcycle and he's not giving them back if he doesn't make the first 1,000 in the city. So he's like, I need these notes. And our female lead is like, no, I will not give you these notes. You're dangerous. I will not risk my business for you. And I've already closed it, so I don't want to get in trouble. But meanwhile they are talking, he finds a way to get her notes under her desk and puts it into his bag. And the next day we see everyone has them. Like the betrayal that I had in my eyes, I was like, no, you couldn't have done this. Like, why? The reason, I was so curious about the reason. You have your notes. Why would you share with everyone? Now everyone has the notes. And now the teachers are catching on, so they're trying to catch who is the note taker and the sharer is. Our main lead is called to the homeroom teacher's office, and the homeroom teacher is asking him, how do you have these notes? And at the same time, the female lead's teacher is calling her to talk about another thing, but she panics because she's the actual business owner of this thing. So she's like, oh no, I'm in trouble, everybody found out. And when she comes in from the door, she hears our male lead protecting her. And our male lead says, I have a private tutor to get my motorcycle back. And that tutor was like an awesome teacher and gave me some notes to study. And I was like, why not to share it with my friends so they can get a good score on the exam as well? So I shared it with them, and then like, it's how I made it. And the homeroom teacher is like, yeah, makes sense. And you're pulling a lot of things, like you're hiring a private tutor to get your motorcycle back. I appreciate your passion, honestly. And then our female lead is relieved, and then after this kind of scene, we see her seeing the two of them, her mother and our male lead, together, and now she is trying to approach him to get him to tutor him privately, because he's keeping a secret that he wants to go to the abroad. Nobody knows this, his parents, his teachers, nobody knows this. And you cannot study without telling anyone. Like, you have to study for it, you have to go home, and without a private tutor it's kind of hard. And it is 2016, the resources are not like today. Like, it is a lot harder to see the questions that have been before or the studies that have been done. It's a lot more back then. And can you believe 2016 is 10 years ago? Yeah, I had a realization as well. I was shocked. 2016 is 10 years away. We are in 2026. Yeah. And after this, our female lead is gonna passionately approach our male lead to privately tutor him and then make him fall in love with her. And then after a festival, they are studying in that little office of the desk and chair towers, by the way. And then we see them slowly falling in love with each other throughout this process. And time passes, we don't see the between the scenes, but we see them falling in love a bit by a bit by a bit, and we are like, okay. And in the meantime, of course, there are things that are happening. They are saving fishes from a store that is closing up because they're gonna throw away the pet fishes, so they buy all of them and save them. And they snuck into the school to get, like, you know, the glass things in the chemistry lab. They steal them from the school and they get caught. A lot happens. But after that, the exam approaches, the Gakko, I think, exam approaches, and as a tradition, they release balloons to the sky and they write their wishes on them, so their wishes come true. Yeah, it's a bit weird, but it makes sense. It motivates the students. It, like, really helps, I think. And our female lead secretly calls his stepmother to tell that there's a parent-teacher conference at this date, you should come. I want to meet you, I want to talk with you, thank you for everything that you've done. She's acting like an English teacher to see her, to make her come to the school. And because our female lead's mother is taking care of everything that is happening at that house, although they're like just in a relationship like boyfriend and girlfriend, she's taking care of everything. That day, after releasing balloons, they see each other. The mother sees the daughter sees the mother, and the daughter, our female lead, is so cunning. She's like, after he sees her mother approaching, he hugs the male lead for her to see. I don't know, I was feeling a bit painful about the things that he was gonna face after like he learned everything, but his mindset was, I don't know your motive, I know you're trying to do something, but I'm gonna help you because I like you, I love you. His mindset was this, so he was enduring everything. This is so painful to watch, and some people are watching it for her POV, by the way, for the second time. There are 29 episodes. It is a lot easier to go by. I watched 12 episodes in a day. Yeah, it's easy to watch. Don't worry about it. Some people are watching it for her POV, to focus on her. And after they release balloons that day, her mother is waiting in front of her door, waiting for her to come back to home. And she's like, our female lead is like so pleased to see her because her plan worked. She did everything and it went according to the plan. So she's like, what happened, mother? You couldn't recognize your daughter or anything? It has been a while, right? And the mother is like, what are you doing? Why are you approaching Lu Xixiao, our male lead? Why? And she's like, I need money. I'm in need of money. My grandma is sick. She is ill. We have a lot of money for the medication. We visit the hospital like every week. I'm in need of medication, but I am not able to make money because I'm just a high schooler. I need to take the exam. So I did this. I pulled off this stunt for you to come to me, for me to threaten you. She's not saying all these things, but you know, the dialogue is going like this. So her mother pulls a golden card and she's like, I will give you money, but you have to get away from the male character, Lu Xixiao. So you cannot approach my family at all if I'm giving you this money. Like, you're forbidden. Our female lead is like, yes ma'am, gets the money, goes to her home. But they fell in love with each other. So that makes things a little bit more complicated because our male lead is so confused because nothing happened. The other day they were hugging, releasing the balloons together, and now she's avoiding him at all costs, even in school. We don't know what's happening. So if you're curious about the Act 2 where they're gonna be older in their adult years, you can go check that one out. It is available on YouTube. It is totally free. At first it was not available in my country, but it was made later on, thankfully. You can go and watch it. It is free. I liked it, and it is, I think, if there is not another one like this, it is my best modern C-drama of 2026. I really liked it. This is totally my type. Yeah, that's it for today. I will see you guys next week. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, of course. I will see you guys next week.